Hello, so today I'll be doing a quick overview of Chapter 6 of Scaffolding Language, Scaffolding Learning. Alright, so Chapter 6 is called Reading in a Second Language and Culture, and it starts off by talking about how there's three types of knowledge needed in order to gain meaning from reading a text. There's a semantic knowledge, syntactic knowledge, and a graphophonic knowledge. And meaning of a text does not just come from words and structures of the text, but it's actually constructed in the interactions between the text and the schematic knowledge. So that means that the meaning of a text doesn't just come from the words that you're reading. It's taking what you already know, it's taking prior knowledge, and you're thinking about the reading plus what you're reading through that text. And then there's four components needed to become a successful reader. You need to be a code breaker, text participant, text user, and a text analyst. Next, I want to talk about the implications of what this means for our EL learners. So although this is true for all of our students, especially for our EL learners, what a teacher does before a book is read represents significant scaffolding for reading with comprehension. And this is because we have to build up the knowledge and understanding that are relevant to the text that the children will read before we actually assign that reading to them. And when using a text in class or assigning a reading in class, you want to divide the planning into three sections, and you want to ask these three questions to plan. There's what will I do before the reading, what will I and the students do while the reading is going on, and finally, what will I do after the text has been read. So the first part is preparing the students before the reading, and there's some activities from page 147 to 152 in the book. There's specific activities that you can do to kind of satisfy that criteria. And then the second is what will I and the students do while the reading is going on. So this is making sure that the students are processing the information as they're reading, and they're not just reading words without understanding what they're actually reading. And again, there are activities covered from page 152 to 159 in the book of what you can do with your students to kind of go through that process. And then finally, what will I do after the text has been read? And this is to make sure that the students have comprehended their readings and they can apply that to their knowledge. And again, there are activities from page 159 to 168. All right, next section of the chapter talks about phonemic awareness and phonic knowledge. So phonemic awareness is listening to and distinguishing distinctive sounds of a language, and it's the ability to understand and manipulate sounds of language orally. And it's important to develop this because it links to the student's ability to understand the relationship between the sounds of a word and the symbols used to represent those sounds in writing. And from there, that develops phonic knowledge, which is the ability to match phonemes to their corresponding letters and the combination of letters. All right, the last section of the chapter talks about choosing books, a reason for turning the page. So language development supports reading, and vice versa, reading supports language development. And because of this, we have to provide books and readings that provide a rich linguistic environment. And the books and reading assignments should be chosen carefully with consideration of the student's age, interests, reading abilities, and the purpose for that reading. And most importantly, we want to find books that give children a reason for turning page. We don't want to just assign books that teach students how to read or write. We want to assign books that are engaging and culturally relevant, and things and stories and books and texts that students actually want to read and engage in, because again, reading supports language development.